That's at the end, yeah. Tail end, last about 10 pages or so. Actually, about last 5.
So we have this, and then we have a link on in the chat, and we'll see if anybody else shows up in the next 5-10 minutes.
Sure.
But last meeting we covered the structure of war. The first 2 sections. War is injuring and war is a contest.
Mm-hmm.
This in contrast to the structure of torture in the language of agency.
Right.
This Virginia Woolf quote is nice. Was it in chapter 1 or the intro? Maybe the intro. Whatever pain achieves, it achieves in part through its unshareability. And it ensures this unshareability through its resistance to language. English, which can express the thoughts of Hamlet and the tragedy of Lear, has no words for the shiver or the headache. The merest schoolgirl, when she falls in love, has Shakespeare or Keats to speak her mind for her. But let a sufferer try to describe a pain in his head to a doctor, and language at once runs dry. True of the headache, Woolf's account is of course more radically true of the severe and prolonged pain that may accompany cancer, burns, or phantom limb, or stroke. As well of the severe and prolonged pain that may occur unaccompanied by any nameable disease. Physical pain does not simply resist language. It actively destroys it, bringing about an immediate reversion to a state anterior to language. The sounds and cries a human being makes before language is learned. So this is a nice analogy to support groups or narcissistic abuse in the early days. You're gaslighting and you got mindfuckery, so you're looking for a community just to talk out and not feel crazy. So, narcissistic abuse, gaslighting, toxic superego, that achieves extra pain and torture due to its unshareability. Because it's working in the landscape of imagination. So now it's psychological pain. And the landscape of relational trauma. So you had a relationship with a projection or an object or a splitting. You had a relationship with the love bombing. And then you had a relationship with the enforcer, the crazy side.
Mm-hmm.
So to hear pain is to have doubt. And then to have pain is to have certainty. Recap of the intro. Oh, come on. What's the resolution? How blurry is it?
It's good now. It went blurry for a sec there.
Yes.
I don't know what that was about.
I was looking at the other screen. It downscales
Zoom is
sometimes.
scaling, yeah.
But you can follow along with the link in the chat. And then I got to check on the live stream if my Chrome is working. Oh. So chapter 2, chapter 3, anything about the book you guys want to talk about? Otherwise, I'll try to rush through it so I can talk about a paper on dealing with a schizophrenic superego, which actually links well with chapter 3. Took a little work.
Yeah, I didn't get as far as I would have liked to. I only got to the end of chapter 2.
Sure.
I had some parts I was in the unmaking. What did I?
Chapter
My PDF
2.
stop diving there. What are you doing, stupid reader? What the?
The structure of war.
Yeah. Where did I?
One, 2, or 3, or 4. War is enduring. War is a contest. What differentiates enduring from other acts, and the end of war.
Well, the whole section before nuclear war, where the paragraphs were mightily long.
I think that was most of the book.
That was probably most of the book, but they were, say, around 117 or so.
What was it talking about?
She was. That's a good question. That's why I had questions.
What do you remember? Give me something.
I'd highlighted bits. Yeah. Where she was talking about let's see, the bodies. Let's see, does this dead body, or does this dead boy's body belong to his side, the side for which he died, or does it belong to the side for which someone killed him, the side that took him? Where she kind of waxes a bit on the tolls of, maybe that wasn't the heaviest part. Got a little lost as to what point she was making. It would be, I don't know if the PDF matches up with the same. I'm trying to find it in the.
Where do you have it? Tell me what you're looking. I'll try to catch up.
Sure. Structure of War, page 119 in the PDF, but it's
Structure of War 119.
But
okay, let me find the PDF.
Yeah. I was going to try and jump to the same spot in the. Actually,
why does Zoom make my Chrome slow?
It makes mine slow too, so I'm not sure.
So, wait. 2 sides of body, so there's a lot of body count.
It's more like 84 in yours, I guess.
Aha.
The page counts are way off.
Yes, it's shorter in here.
Yeah. I'm in that paragraph.
Why are you freezing on me? Oh, there. Well, go comment. I'll catch up.
Okay. This whole, let's see, that whole section was on the, maybe some on the perspective of the uh, kind of the
Oh, it's
point
right
of
before nuclear. Okay.
yeah.
3 arenas of damage or embodied persons, culture of self-extension, aspects of national consciousness, self-definition. Is after
Yeah,
this.
where she was
Then 82, 83. Same emptying of the body of cultural content. Wound is empty of reference.
just that next paragraph there.
This one or
And
the next one?
decides, but when the referential direction is determined, that paragraph there. That doesn't highlight yours.
Okay. What about this caught your attention?
All right. It was interesting in that the dang it, it's gone back to the PDF to get to the parts I'd highlighted. Just the non-divisibility of, I guess, the boy, this is so thick. Just jumping back into it, I'm like,
Okay,
like,
let me see.
I thought it stood out to me at the time.
Does this dead boy's body belong to his side, the side for which he died, or does it belong to the side for which someone killed him, the side that took him? That belongs to both, or neither, makes manifest the non-referential character of the dead body that will become operative in the war's aftermath. So it belongs to the country it fought for because he's fighting for that country, but it also belongs as a kill for the other side that says, this is our kill.
Right.
So it belongs to both, and then it's just a number at the end of the war.
And then it becomes a
Day.
number, right? Yeah. Even the battles, even though, the counts and everything were higher at points, just as a temporary scorekeeping, but then they end up just being a part of a total in the end on either side, and really meaningless numbers, because the number could be higher on one side than the other, and the lower total could have lost. Yeah.
The totals don't matter. It matters who.
Not in the end. In
who admits to losing.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want more damage? Now, if the wounded boy lives, the intensely real pain in his chest may for a time preoccupy all his attention. But if he recovers, he can recertify his beliefs, bestow its intense reality on those convictions. So too, if he dies, the compelling spectacle of the open body may confer its compelling character on political beliefs, national allegiance of comrades who find him. They may, as they look with horror at what the opponents have done to his flesh, feel their renewed vividness in their commitment to the task. So, fellow soldiers could be inspired by his body. But at the same time, the enemy could be inspired by his body.
Correct.
But his body is objectified.
The dual nature of all of it, yeah. Just the shift in thoughts, from the simple thoughts I had initially, I suppose. Some of the avenues it led me down were interesting, and also the ripple effects through the society where they come back and they last for years past the war, like where she was talking about bullet holes in buildings and whatnot still in Berlin, and some of the wounded people with visible, changes in their gait or
following generations of people.
Generationally, yeah, how it has an effect long past the end of the war, where, let's see, where was that section? We're just trying to get a larger part of how it doesn't matter and how it does matter and how it does weave in, and trying to figure out her larger point when she was in those sections.
That could be
the book.
Part of splitting. So war is our way of acting out splitting. Psychologically, we split, yeah. And then that's hard to catch because one person's the opposite. This person's a soldier. His body is owned by both sides after he dies. That referential instability, like who owns it, what's the story, all this stuff, it's to the survivors, or it's to the author, it's to the winner of the war. It defines all the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
In a sense, this can be transferred to psychological splitting. So you get gaslit, the person that's gaslighting is taking away all the references or controlling the references. And then if you're on the receiving end, then you're on the receiving end of referential instability.
Right. And even when you're trying to go into where she talks about if you try and deconstruct war, to understand the why behind it, you'll get nonsense kind of out of it. You're not going to be able to make decent sense about, so even more like splitting.
Well, that's the sentient part.
Mm-hmm.
She talked about sentience. So the weapons, do they have sense? Does it make sense? How do you make sense of stuff? You have these mass numbers.
Mm-hmm.
They're beyond scale. And then I think she was linking political nature of humans and other stuff in there.
Yeah, and some of the abstractions, yeah. It's interesting.
What else did you catch before we jumped to other stuff?
The realization in the dispute. Let's see. Misdirection and substantiation.
Okay, you can work on that. I'll go to the next highlight.
You go for that.
Nuclear war. So nuclear war separates conventional war and nuclear war. I would say this might be why psychological abuse is harder, because we're living under the moral chasm of nuclear war. And that's... nuclear war has all the scale of conventional war. So it's gigantic in numbers. So it's not one-on-one torture. But it also has the aspect of torture, because this new massiveness of the model of torture, that people participating, the people that are dying on the other side, they have no vote, they have no say, they have no heads up. If you're just around the landfall of the atom bomb, you're part of the price. You're dehumanized, you're objectified.
Mm-hmm.
This didn't exist before World War II. We didn't have this level of scale, these disembodied weapons. See, right here. Nuclear arms may at first appear to be a radical extension of the freedom. The population doesn't have to prepare for war. How many of us have to go learn how to wield a sword? Or
don't have to train. Yeah, that was an interesting level of skill and bringing in the escalation from the time of the samurai.
You don't need to handle a weapon.
Yeah.
You don't even need to be there in the battleground.
Mm-hmm.
You can be a drone pilot from remote. So the level of presence and the level of training that used to be required for war is scaled down due to technology. And then, so a minority of soldiers who are mercenaries, maybe they're doing the war. So the old embodied skills of weapon use are gone. And so there's no human skill. And there's no need for human presence. So now the human act of consent is eliminated. Agency.
Mm-hmm.
Soldiers aren't actively fighting people face to face or battlefield to battlefield.
No.
The building in of skill thus in its most triumphant form. Oh, you build the skill through technology and you build out the consent. So the human presence of attacking is eliminated, but the body's presence of receiving is super amplified. So the damage is amplified. Tons of bodies are the consequence of nuclear war. Tons of deaths.
Right.
But
yeah, that was a grim statement, but scaled up, yes.
Scaled up to higher levels, so we're all living with this anxiety of the reality of nuclear wars beyond comprehension. There's no more agency by all the soldiers, it's just by a small amount of the population. The leadership and the people that can decide the football, right? Is that the president?
Right. Yes. The one with the codes.
And then that has the cost of the other side. Or whoever ends up on the other side of the nuclear, tons of devastation, tons of consequences, tons of super presence on one side. And then the attacker is disembodied, not part of the equation. That's sort of like a toxic superego. We get possessed by spiritual toxic superegos from the system, from academia, from our ex, and then that continues causing damage to our body in full present and future experience. And the ownership of the attacker is a ghost or missing. It's disembodied.
Mm-hmm.
That's in This Opinion piece by George F. Will. We can play.
By George F. Will. Voters, please think about the menace of nuclear annihilation. Future historians, if there are any, will be dumbfounded. Today, uncountable dollars and unquantifiable hysteria are devoted to the distant threat of climate change milder than some changes Earth has experienced. A recent peer-reviewed study of scientific estimates concludes that the average annual cost of what the excitable UN Secretary-General calls global boiling might reach 2% of global gross domestic product by 2100. Meanwhile, negligible public anxiety accompanies the intensifying danger of global incineration from nuclear war. High anxiety is unsustainable, but in a presidential...
There. So we're living under this intensifying danger and we just don't talk about it. And I think this talks about that anxiety.
Election year, it can temporarily concentrate minds. Reading Nuclear War, a Scenario by reporter and historian Annie Jacobson will take you much longer than the 30 or so minutes, 1,800 seconds, that would elapse between the launch of a single nuclear-armed intercontinental ballistic missile in North Korea and its detonation on the Pentagon. Thereafter, in Jacobson's scenario, cascading and irreversible events extinguish civilization in 2 hours.
So 30 minutes for North Korea to launch a nuclear weapon to the Pentagon, and then irreversible events in 2 hours that gets described. So trigger warning if anybody has any sort of nuclear war nightmares. This reality might be worse than your nightmare.
Few tenths of a second after the launch, a bus-sized U.S. satellite 22,300 miles above Earth detects the missile's plume. 6 seconds later, computers in the command center beneath the Pentagon are predicting its destination, the Pentagon. 24 seconds later, at the military's Cheyenne Mountain Complex in Colorado, computers generate this message: nuclear launch alert. Jacobson's most chilling point. The speed at which nuclear war will unfold and then escalate all but guarantees that it will end in civilizational collapse. One of her sources, former Defense Secretary William J. Perry, says, "Many presidents come to the office uninformed about their role in a nuclear war. Some seem not to want to know. They should know that the launch on warning policy could force them to go to nuclear war in the minutes required to brew a cup of coffee."
The launch on warning policy, they have to decide within the minutes of brewing a cup of coffee? Is that what our presidents get to do? Or is this why the book is being presented, to argue against Trump?
Maybe. Well, they went through that with the false one in Hawaii, didn't they? Not too long ago. A few years back, but 2017 or so, I think.
Oh.
Where they
I
had
just
the
remember
agency had the alert go out that wasn't actual from inbound missiles.
Oh.
From North
Hawaii.
Korea, wasn't it? Yeah. And people were, the accounts of people, their reactions to that.
There isn't
before
enough time to have reactions.
No, it was just a
But I remember like reading
A
about the
recounting.
Korean Airlines that got shot down by Russian defenses. That was in the 80s. That was 300 people that were killed by an accident. And the news was covered up for 10 years or a long time.
long time.
I don't even remember when it
Or
happened.
Cable TV, right?
It was on cable TV back then? Yeah.
No,
I
I'm
don't-
saying that was before cable TV, because when they did it again in the Obama administration, where did they do that? It wasn't Ukraine, but they accidentally shot down a plane,
Oh, was that Crimea or something? Or
something like that,
oh,
and everyone knew right away. And we had videotape of the Russian soldiers saying, "Oops, we fucked up," or something like that.
I sort of remember that. That was over a smaller war. The Korean Airlines was over a nuclear threat. So, Korean Airlines 007,
83 September. 83.
shot down by the Soviet Union, 1983. 269 people dead. So I guess we've cut down on like airplane hijacks, but we still have airplane accidental shootings.
Wait, I missed something. How was that related to nuclear war? The Korean.
Because that was
They
a
fl-
Russian defense. The Russian thought that was an attack. Let me see.
They thought it was a missile.
Navigation errors, I remember.
Yeah. Okay. So they thought it was an attack, but the plane got lost, basically.
Let me see.
They were off course, I believe, but let's see.
Flight deviation.
Yeah.
Sharp turn 100 degrees to the left from its initial heading. Bring it closer to the route. So the plane had an adjustment. 90 seconds later, air traffic control directed the flight to proceed when it was able. It made an immediate turn, then less than a minute later it was off. Bethel, 5-minute wide. So there are some corrections where it was the hit. Oh, there's a map. Is flying there to there. Did it crash over there? Actual flight path versus the planned flight path. So it was supposed to go all the way there, and then it got adjusted there. I guess Russia's Russia's right here. And Russia's right there.
Vladivostok could be sticking.
It's supposed to go around Russia there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So, it divergent is probably a mistake on their side. Because all this stuff didn't come out in real time, because all this was covered up. Unless you took the time after the news came out to figure this out. So it continued its journey into Russian airspace. And then it got shot down there.
When you say covered up, you meant they made it something up like a malfunction or an engine failure.
That was
You
the
can't cover
news,
up.
yeah. Let me see.
You can't cover up a flight going down.
Yeah, they said it went down, but they said it was a crash. It wasn't.
Right. It wasn't a missile.
It wasn't shot by an interceptor or by. We've forgotten what the Cuban Missile Crisis was and all the tensions.
Right, because to admit that they were shot down means that's an act of war.
Yes, they're retaliation, which means escalation, escalation, and then nuke to nuke, and then everyone loses.
Yeah.
So, see, initial Soviet denial. So Soviet has a story that they didn't do it, and then
It wasn't us.
let's see. 6 hours after the plane was down, the South Korean government issued an announcement that the plane had merely been forced to land, and all of the passengers and the crew were safe.
It's going to be a hard one on him to dig out of. Whoops.
And then September 5th, I guess, Reagan condemned the shooting down, called it Korean airline massacre.
Mm-hmm.
Say that again, please.
Here it said President Reagan condemned the shooting down of the airplane September 5th, calling it Korean airline massacre.
Okay.
Crime against humanity, act of barbarism, inhuman brutality. Then there's a presentation by the UN Jean Kirkpatrick to the UN Security Council of audio tapes of the Soviet pilot's radio conversation. I guess some of the stuff came out.
Over time.
Well, no, that was September 5th. I think that's pretty close after the crash.
Mm.
The Soviets challenged many of the facts, so the Soviets played dumb. September 7th, Japan and US released transcripts of Soviet communications. Highest level US-Soviet summit, emergency session. Then New York, New Jersey denied rights to Soviet aircraft. Actually, it's pretty useful now that we're sort of taking the side with Ukraine and Russia.
So if the U.S. was posturing that they were going to do something about it in response, but actually didn't do it, How
Well, they didn't meet same force of same force. Yeah. There are 2 movies about it. Because that's the problem with nuclear alarms, nuclear warfare now. Mutually assured destruction, so it's just sort of like
Right.
posturing. How much can you get away with it? The other side.
right, but they wouldn't want something else militarily. They would want, what would they want? So you're threatening a country over something they did that they know they did with military retaliation, but you don't really want that. You want something else. You want cash or fur coats, or I don't know. You see what I'm getting at? Trade agreements.
That's our current warfare, economic. That's what
Yeah.
America and the
Mhm.
West was trying to posture Russia with, to get them to back off Ukraine. But then Russia was able to find other customers for their gas and oil, and so they're still able to operate.
Mm.
So economic sanctions matter, but they only go so far. Then you have the fallback of killing each other to out-injure the opponent. But
Right.
nuke to nuke is part of this.
Pearl Harbor was the result of sanctions. Oil. The Japanese were something to do with shipping.
Oh.
And then oil. Japan couldn't get oil or something. It's at the. If you go to Hawaii, it's at the ship that sank. I can't think of the name of it.
Arizona
Memorial.
and something else.
Arizona. Yeah.
The Arizona. Thank you.
So yeah, how U.S. economic warfare provoked a Japanese attack.
Yeah.
So this illusion of just setting boundaries and setting things, thinking there's no consequences, the other side can escalate. Or if the other side's backed into a corner, they're more unpredictable. So setting boundaries, red flags, exposing the narcissist, taking him to reporting to the police, all this stuff. If you give them no out, they can go more crazy. They can start kamikazing and stuff. There is this illusion America wields with economic sanctions and stuff, but if the other side goes more crazy, North Korea shoots up a bunch of missiles to kill all the satellites. Or just kill half of the satellites because space junk is going to ram all the other satellites. Then it regresses to conventional warfare. You don't have all the fancy GPSs and shit. So this is this isn't part of this example, but this is part of our current life we're living in this post-nuclear war. It's a bunch of posturing that the countries are doing. So we do this with psychological posturing. And the narcissists enjoy the legal system, so they actually get a high out of competing with just lying and doing performance. So this moral position of victims is kind of silly. Welcome, Holly. We're diving into nuclear war.
Hi, thank you. I'm trying to hang in with. I'm multitasking right now, but it's nice to be with you guys. Hi, Eric.
Hey.
And I will catch up. It's so cool. You're on world events. It looks like.
I'm trying to link it to world events because the book is a bit heavy. But this nuclear war thing, I think this is how we set emotional boundaries. This is how America sets boundaries with economic warfare. So, because we don't talk about the consequences. The consequences are, we'll just keep posturing. And then a narcissist will just keep posturing and blow up their whole life because no one pushes it to the end.
Well, we don't have made-for-TV movies on the after effect of nuclear war anymore, so,
You have the old ones.
Used to be a thing. Yeah, they got the old ones. The grim ones.
Well, you had that, it wasn't the after effect, but that one on Netflix recently.
Oh, they've had one. Okay.
No,
Didn't
it
catch
wasn't
that.
nuclear. What was it called? This is how it ends
Hmm.
with Julia Roberts, and I can't think of his name.
But
About
even
an
if you
attack
know
on
how it
America?
ends, what do you do? There's no agency as a regular population person on either side.
Yeah, that's kind of the point of the movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So who wants to live with that feeling of slavery, of your future is not in either, you have no control over your future. One stupid decision by one side can cause a bunch of
That's where
casualties.
You get the people that pretend like they can prepare for such an event, and
No, that might be why we're preparing for climate change and all these other little things, because we're projecting our
Shifting it up.
anxiety about nuclear war onto third-party things, scapegoats.
mm-hmm.
Because we don't have the traditional goal of the battle. In the old battle, it's meeting a sword with a defensive shield. That's the idea of the missile shield, but what are the limits of the missile shield?
The traditional goal in battle, Jacobson writes, is to meet attacking sword with defensive shield. The total number of U.S. interceptor missiles, 44. Attacked, would the
Only
United States
44?
retaliate to decapitate the attacking regime? A problem. U.S. Minuteman III. ICBMs do not have enough range to hit North Korea without overflying Russia. In Jacobson's scenario, Russia reacts violently. Everything depends on deterrence holding forever.
Right there. This is the posturing of codependence. Moral outrage versus moral outrage, and thinking that one side's not going to go crazy and just go postal or something. You want to dehumanize another person and sling a bunch of stuff, let's practice on YouTube. But you make someone break, they might act out on someone local. So you're thinking that you're posturing and you're destroying somebody's soul doesn't cost anything. Or you're posturing to save somebody, but you're not interacting with their family. You're not interacting with their coworkers. This is the dehumanizing nature of online conversation. We're being trained to set boundaries and be assholes and think there's no price of that. It's just this keep everyone in deterrence, keep everyone in paranoia, keep everyone worried about, policing conflict. Somehow that's gonna work for everything? Or is that causing the school shooters? A minority of people that act out because of all this excess deterrence, this extra excess policing.
It succeeded in keeping the U.S.-Soviet conflict from becoming hot during the Cold War. But conventional forces failed to deter Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine, and he, possessing the world's largest arsenal of nuclear weapons and perhaps the world's smallest reluctance to use them, has used nuclear deterrence to dissuade Ukraine's allies from delivering sufficient timely assistance. Otherwise, U.S. and European Union resources could by now have saved Ukraine. But then, a non-nuclear Russia might not have risked an invasion. Jacobson says that in 1983, President Ronald Reagan ordered a simulated war game to explore the probable dynamics of a nuclear attack and counterattack. Over the course of 2 weeks, in every simulated scenario, and despite whatever particularly triggering event started the war game, nuclear war always ended the same way. A minimum of 500 million dead after the first salvos. There is, Jacobson insists, no such thing as de-escalation.
So with police were trying to train them to have de-escalation now. Or that's a counter-training. They've been trained to be zero tolerance, no damage, destroy, overwhelm the target with no casualties.
Mm-hmm.
How many mental health people are learning how to de-escalate or disarm other people's defenses? Even if they're learning how to disarm and de-escalate defenses, what is the norms of social media communication? How much are we de-escalating? As long as people play nice, people are nice. But then once people get overboard, it's just all guns on the smallest thing. Tone policing, this and that and that and that. this idea.
Mhm.
John Hersey's 30,000 word Hiroshima filled an entire New Yorker issue in 1946 and was arguably the most impactful work of U.S. journalism ever. It included stomach-turning descriptions of what one small, relative to today's weapons bomb, did to one city's inhabitants. Jacobson vividly imagines the horrors of unconstrained nuclear onslaughts, metal-melting heat, beyond hurricane-level winds, radiation poisoning, the end of agriculture, social disintegration because of electric Armageddon. The electric grid vanishes, and with it the nation's communications and financial infrastructure.
Couple bombs, couple attacks on infrastructure, cell phones are gone, banking's gone, economy collapsed. Look at the COVID, things held together, but the initial changes of COVID disrupted things. So one side is, let's say America does economic sanctions. The other side just blows up a couple things that cripples Americans and economy. Supply lines, this and that, a targeted terrorist attack by a reasonable country. Electric grid is limited. Actually, from experts who have who know about electric grids, the maintenance and the expertise to keep it up is supposedly pitiful. It wouldn't even take much to push over the electric grid. They're even saying Tesla taking away the electric grid for other electric cars. All the other electric suppliers are scrambling. Because they were relying on Tesla to do the infrastructure. You need the infrastructure of their charging stations to support more car sales for electric vehicles.
And ecological collapse. Swarms of disease-bearing mosquitoes, the birds that preyed on them being dead, feast on sewage, garbage, and the dead. Jacobson cannot be faulted for not proposing solutions to the dilemma of living with what physics hath wrought. Her point is that for a while now, and from now on, humanity's survival depends on statesmanship and luck, as much the latter as the former. Remember that on November 5th.
So if our humanity's survival depends on statesmanship and luck, are we training our population to be statesmen? Or is social media training our population to ignore other people's needs and just be all egocentric something? Or just hide in the sand and ignore the reality of this nuclear war reality? Yeah.
The second use of nuclear weapons occurred 3 days after the first. There has not been a third use for almost 28,800 days. Talk of banning the bomb is pointless. These weapons are here forever. Or so we must hope. They will exist until they are used. But as long as they are not used, the words of General C. Robert Kaler, former head of the U.S. Strategic Command, will be true every hour of every day. The world could end in the next couple of hours.
So this is a recent article that illustrates the change of nuclear war. Chapter 2, Part 4, at the end. Consent in nuclear war is a structural impossibility. So we're stuck to participate if some side starts shooting back and forth. There's no time prior to war, moment of outbreak, no one knows. Third, consent is impossible to vote on. Because in nuclear war the collective casualties occur almost simultaneously, the injured populations do not have the power to authorize the degree and level of injury. So there's no more agency in nuclear war versus traditional wars.
Right, no limited nuclear war. Remember that term back in the 80s? It's like, what?
So you had technology that's now created a new type of status quo that has been uncharted territory. What is the price of this?
The country that wants to launch a nuclear weapon is the country or person who decides that wants to end the world. They don't want victory. There is no victory based on what you just read.
Well, if they're a small country and they're being bullied by other countries, it could be a leveler. So let's say a shooter has been drawn to a corner in their life. They've had enough. They go crazy. They just want to inflict damage back. So if you have a small country that's been bullied with economic sanctions and other stuff, or had hundreds of years of beef against another country, and then they're able to cause damage, that's vengeance to them.
The shooter doesn't have like an agenda for the following week after. That's the end, right? Some of them go to jail, but a lot of them just end it there.
Yeah, the shooter doesn't, but another country leader might be getting old or have his own personal agenda. A minority is controlling the nuclear weapons. And even if the leader isn't doing it, let's say one person who's close to high to the general or high to some decision chain can get it done. One starts another, and then there's a retaliation, then it's
all
no
over.
going back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the factor that there's no agency, even though we're projecting that there's people that are keeping the security of decision making for nuclear weapons. Due to the speed of the warfare and the scale, if force has to meet force, once one goes over for a mistake, for intentional who knows what, our sense of control is gone. So part one, the language of torture, or the language of agency around torture, that's one-on-one. Part two, the nature of war, nuclear war, now there's no agency. We've created these weapons, now these weapons own us. Now we're going to create AI, and AI is going to own us. The origins of Terminator.
Rise of the machines.
Because just on social media, humans can't filter stuff, so AI is curating the information for the masses. So we got hyper-connected, and then technology has to filter it for us because there's not enough manpower, or there's not enough money to pay for it. So let the machines do it. So that's nuclear war. Now, part three. Imagination and pain are linked. And then this might have a pivot to toxic superegos, or a paper on schizophrenic superegos. And a link to schizoids and schizotypy, which might be linked to oceanic merging.
Okay.
Everything's coming together, even though the book didn't really help. So there's a relationship between physical pain and imagination. Pain is not of or for anything. It is of itself alone. It's objectlessness. There's a complete absence of referential content. So when you have pain, you look for a trigger. You look for a reference. That's what it's talking about with pain. Because when you have pain, pain is certain. Everybody else has doubt, so then you need to create a story to see how the pain, why it's here, what you can do about it. Or if you're tortured, the torturer is going to give you a story of why the pain is. The gaslighter is going to give you a story of why you fucked up, give you a double bind. So that's why the language doesn't fit right. And it's hard to express physical pain. Nothing expresses his physical pain. And then this is a hard link. But the only state that's anomalous as pain is the imagination. So pain and imagination are two similar states, but on opposite sides. pain is remarkable because it doesn't have objects. You can't find... You have to find a weapon. You have to find an abuser to link your pain to find a pattern, predict it. But the imagination is opposite. The imagination is remarkable for being the only state that is all objects in your head. So that's why when you have pain, you use your imagination to create a language of agency, cause and effect. You create objects in your head to say, who caused the fault? Am I at fault? Is this person at fault? Who's good guy, bad guy? And if the abuser gives you more pain, they fill in your imagination with the characters. So I punish you with pain, I beat you with physical pain, your brain can't make sense of things, and I tell you who, what, why, where. Or I give you a double bind and blame you both ways. So that's the imagination is creating all the objects. If I'm the abuser, I'm the imagination theater person that creates the spectacle of why you're absolutely guilty and why I'm actually whatever. I do crazy making. That'd be like...
That's crazy making, crazy making, crazy making. You are absolutely guilty. You're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. Make you have doubt, have doubt, have doubt. Laden with contempt, contempt, contempt. Laden with contempt.
I had done nothing wrong. I had done nothing wrong. I had done nothing.
Pecking away at your insecurities. Pecking away at your insecurities.
So if the abuser controls the imagination, your imagination is full of objects. Internal representations of stuff that's happening out there. Or internal maps of how things go A to B, who's at fault, what's safe, where's the reward. Your imagination has all of that. This is the tricky part. There is in imagining no activity, no state, no experiential condition, or felt occurrence separate from the objects. The only evidence that one is imagining is the imaginary objects that appear in the mind. So imagine a reality and a reality they feel the same. They teach that in like motivation or something. You can fake practicing. And then fake practice is somewhat equal to real practicing a golf swing. Because imagination and physical stuff feels the same in the imagination. This might be linked to schizotypy. This will be a little bit of a jump. But let's see if that might help. Chapter 3.
Synoptic connectivity. Borrowing elements from a variety of fields, put them together and come up with a new insight. The ability to kind of fly above the terrain and put everything together in a way that has never been done before.
Steve.
This is a whole
Steve.
Look, we got a bunch of people and Dan is...
Off. Turn this dumbass shit off, Dave. This shit is all retarded.
Fucking
look at
leader.
Eric. Yo, Eric.
Yo,
dude,
can someone get these kids?
Y'all are ugly as fuck. Fuck you, Tim.
So you guys are coming. This is the first time I've been bombed. This is
No, do you have
cool.
a fucking problem, Dan? I'll be your fucking ass.
Don't do shit, Tim. Tim, you're a little bitch.
I haven't had to use like muting before.
Poor dog.
I didn't know that the group got so violent that it needed this stuff. Let's see. Hey Crow. Okay. Who's next? Dan. At least you have your video.
Oh.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do with that big fat butt when you wiggle it? When you wiggle it? You a bitch?
Nigger.
Whoa, that was dude. You're white as fuck. Now you can just stop with that shit. It was fun at first, but you're just white as fuck saying the hard R. You're just a lame bitch. You ruined this shit for me. Nah, you just fucking ruined this shit for me. You lame.
Wow! Whoa!
What the
Okay.
fuck am I watching, dog?
What the Sigma?
Like I know what's
Shut the
happening.
fuck up, John. John, you a bitch.
Yeah.
Well, what did I do, gang?
Sort of
Kelly,
performance
shut the fuck
art, I
up,
suppose.
Kelly, shut the fuck up.
Kelly, shut your fucking mouth.
Shut your damn
Okay.
mouth, Kelly. You ain't shit. Shut the fuck up, Kelly. Shut the fuck up. Go eat a
Now
fucking
let's
Debbie cake.
go
It is.
with
Yeah, I can hear you.
Debbie cake.
What's wrong?
who.
Go eat a Debbie cake, bro.
It is, isn't it?
So
Hey,
is there
bro,
a
y'all
leader
know
to
Deef,
this?
Y'all know Deef is the worst host, right? Because he doesn't even know
They
how to
can-
fucking ban people like us. He is the worst host ever. man.
I've never had to ban
2024,
people.
dog. You should know how to run the internet. No, it's 2024. You're trash.
Okay. This is pretty interesting. Oh, let's do one more. Flood away. Flood the chat. Are you gonna stick around? Stick around. Stay in the chat. Type some shit. Meme shit to me. Come on. Okay, let's see. Let's unmute people one by one. So this is good practice. I haven't had to deal with this. This is the first time in 4 years. And that's with leaving tons of stuff on YouTube that the channel's here. So it's been open forever. It took me that long to get somebody pissed off. Or someone bored enough looking for someone to mess with stuff.
I suppose we used to prank call back in the day, you know. Just
I
up
think
the
they had
ante.
more technology. Yeah, I haven't dealt with this
Right.
before. So So flood away. Oh, some of you guys are leaving. Why are you leaving, Dan? Dan, stick around. Tell me what's happening. Insult me in the chat. Can't you type? You don't know how to type? Tim, Cookie Master, you guys don't know how to say shit? That's your typing. This makes you look smart or just what?
Keyboard stuck or something.
You're trying to look retarded? You want me to like what? Advertise this? Dan, look at the camera. Why are you so shy? You were so confident when you came here before.
Yeah, so outgoing.
Looks like you have some sort of video setup of a gamer. Why don't you show yourself? You can unmute. Insult me. Me and you, one-on-one. Okay. What do you want? Why are you here? What do you want?
What's going on, Dev?
What do you want?
What do you mean? What do I want? What'd you get so
You
hyped
came
up
here.
for, dog? Whoa, whoa, whoa! Before you want to approach a conversation with me, Dev, can we not be so goddamn hostile? God, like
Who's
calm the
being
fuck down.
hostile? I'm giving
need
you
to calm the
space to
fuck down.
reply. You guys didn't.
Reply to what? Your puss ass put us on mute for some reason. I didn't even have a chance to speak.
If you don't realize why I
You
put
got a-
everyone on
you have
mute, you're a
minor.
fucking idiot.
You have a minor on this motherfucker dancing in his underwear. I think that's the first thing you should be doing instead of addressing Dan Ed.
You came in and you talked. The rest of the people were chaotic. That's why I'm. You seem like you're willing to talk back and forth. The other people, I couldn't make sense of it. How do you expect me to talk to
I
just
was
flashing
watching
video?
The live stream. I was watching the live stream and I decided to just fucking come kick it with you guys.
Okay, that's why I'm giving you a chance.
Sure.
I'm just chilling, dude.
The other
So
people,
can we
I can't
get,
make sense of their agenda.
Can we get fucking Hitler off this motherfucker?
Okay.
So, Devs, do I need to teach you a step-by-step tutorial on how to ban people from this? Just for further preference. You can ban me, but do you want me to give you a step-by-step real quick? It's going to be...
I
so
said
simple.
I've never had to kick people out in 4 years of running Zoom.
I mean, I get that, but it's looking like you don't know how to do that shit. And it's 2024.
That's
so
what I
if you need
said.
help,
I've
I can
never
help
had
you.
to do it. Why would I know
Well,
how to
then-
do it if
well,
I've never
alright,
had to
so-
do it?
So you right click on the person you're trying to ban, and then you click fucking ban them. Like, it's that fucking simple. It's like using it's like fucking trying to open a new tab through one fucking tab. You understand?
Dan, I told you I've never done it.
Well, I just fucking told you, didn't I?
I can't jump into the past after you told me in the future and do something different in the past. That's not how things work.
Def. What's your education status? Would you go
I'm
to
an
school for?
idiot. I don't know how to
Oh,
ban
really?
people. You already told me this. That's my education status.
Well, now you're just being dumb as fuck because I'm.
I am
asking a
dumb.
real
You told me. You
question.
said I
No,
was
'cause
dumb
you're
as
being-
fuck.
You're being sarcastic, bud. Quit being sarcastic with me, dog. Is there
Why?
YouTube like?
Why am I not
Fuck
allowed
off
to
right
be
now.
sarcastic, Dan?
Because I'm trying to have a conversation. You're acting like a cunt like Kelly. Like, why'd you turn your camera off? That's some pussy shit, dog.
You're
Why'd
trying to
we
have a
turn-
conversation. Okay.
Who are you talking
What are we
to?
talking about? What do you want to talk about? Why did you come here?
Because I can, bro. I'm chilling, bro. So why you trying to antagonize me? I ain't do nothing. You was trying to fuck with Dan. You know who the fuck with Dan is, dog? We don't fuck with Dan.
Who says I'm
bro-
antagonizing you? Why?
Bro,
Are you
hey,
antagonized?
Can you unmute Tim? No. Shut the fuck up, Reef. I want to talk to Tim, dog. Because Tim looks like he wants to talk.
He's
Can
muted.
you unmute
Sorry.
Tim? No. Let Tim talk. I want
Why?
Tim to say some shit.
Why?
What's the word, Tim?
Why?
Because he all talk in the chat right now. He just private messaged me that I was actually a bitch. Which
Why?
is cool. I ain't tripping. I just want to talk to him now.
You can do that on your own channel,
On my own channel. What
on your own
channel?
Zoom, in your own meeting. Right now, I'm giving you guys space because apparently you want to join. So
So, do you want to fucking ban me? I give you the step-by-step tutorial. No.
no, I'm trying to figure out to learn from your agenda. So next time I know how to do better. You said
Okay,
I'm stupid about this, so
just
I'm
do me a favor.
here to learn from
Right-click-
people.
Right-click. Shut up. Right-click on my face right now. They just put your little cursor to my face. Right-click on it, and then click just fucking kick. It's pretty simple.
What if I don't want to? What if I want more? There is no kick button.
Then you're just like, what do you mean you want more? What do you like minors or something?
Yes, maybe.
Oh wow, dude, what's this meeting for again?
This meeting is for practice with abusers and manipulators. You're giving me experience because I suck at it. So
What do you mean practice with him? What the fuck's that mean?
that's
Like,
exposure.
are y'all in toxic relationships, but y'all don't want to leave them? So y'all
Yes,
are all in
that's
this trying
part
to
of
figure out how not
narcissistic
to leave it?
abuse. Yeah.
Part of being a part of the
So
That's
why
part
the
of the
fuck are you in
channel.
this relationship? Hang on, man. I'm kind of glad I joined this now because now I really want to get serious. Why the fuck are you guys in this shit?
That's a question a lot of codependents ask themselves. That's
can
a
we,
very good fucking question that they can't answer.
So, if I can, I'll disposal some
Disposal.
shrooms to all of us, and maybe we all need to take a 3-5 of shrooms and realize that we don't need these whores in our life, and that we could just walk the fuck on freely and call it a fucking day. I mean, I get it's hard and shit, and that's, just one thing we're gonna occur through it. But at the end of the day, we're gonna get through it, and we're gonna boss up on these motherfuckers. Fuck these talking. You over here talking about why we should have leave it.
Well,
These
see,
motherfuckers ain't finna change.
You got
dog.
some balls to jump in here and stay in your frame, but codependents don't have that self-definition. They don't have these boundaries that you can do.
Man. I don't have boundaries either, but
Well, you can say
if you've
fuck
been
you.
putting up with the same shit for so long and there's no change,
Yeah.
then you're just doing it to yourself.
You can say that. Codependents, they can't say that to themselves. Or they say it and they keep going back.
Kelly,
I
who are
don't
you codependent on? Your mother?
No.
Like, I'm just confused. Where the fuck
Damn.
is this shit?
You didn't read up on it before coming in, or
Motherfucker.
there's information
Kelly,
out there.
Kelly, bud. I'm gonna
Dude.
be completely honest. I had no
Yeah.
idea what the fuck I was getting into joining this shit.
I didn't either.
Let's just say that. Let's just say.
Yeah, feelings kind of mutual at
Let's
this
just
moment.
let's just say somebody that was previously in here before I got in here leaked your
Mhm.
guys' leak on Twitter. Oh, and we got a retard talking. God damn it.
Tim, you want to join or not?
Yeah, what's going on, Tim? Come on, Tim. Let's
Tim
have a
didn't mean
convo
to
with
do
Keith
that.
and Kelly.
Oh, wrong mic.
What's Holly doing here? She just spectating?
Holly's a
Did they
regular in the
follow
group.
you in? What did I follow him in? What the fuck? You're here? Where?
I'm sorry about that. How we doing?
Hey, what's going on?
I'm still trying to orient. I haven't been... The Zoom meeting hasn't been bombed before. What the fuck happened? Why are you guys here? What do you want? So I'm trying to learn. What?
Dude, we're just fucking bracking, dog.
Bracken.
Yeah, we're fucking
What's
chilling,
that
dog.
word mean?
Fucking chilling,
Go to
dude.
Urban Dictionary, I suppose.
Oh, if we're going to Urban Dictionary, can you look up GYUH? It's pronounced good.
Nah,
It
I'm
might
still in
help you
the
guys
first term.
realize that y'all don't need your fucking codependence, but
If it was that easy to heal from codependence, you could start your own channel and do coaching and make tons of money. There's a lot of addicts who
that's
keep
a
going.
waste of my time. I actually got like a passion. Why the fuck would I want to do that?
Exactly.
No, you know
I
how
asked
short
myself
life
that
is?
question.
You realize
Why
how
am I
short
still
life is,
running
dog?
groups to help
Dude,
losers?
You know how short life is, bro? Motherfuckers can just, man, y'all motherfuckers trip, dog.
I don't know how
trip.
short life is. I'm fucking 51 years old.
Oh, that's actually surprising. You look a lot younger, Dave. I'm gonna be honest with you, dude.
That's a
Asian
camera
don't crack, huh?
and the Asian hair.
It's just like black don't crack. Asian don't crack either. Yeah.
So codependence isn't that easy to heal from.
Yeah.
In my experience, but if you got magic answers,
I
tips?
don't have magic answers. I'm just putting my own input. I didn't say I was right or wrong. I'm just just speaking freely, man.
Excuse me.
Tim, do you want to join in anything?
No, I just want to say hello to everyone.
Okay. Does anyone want to
Tim, bro.
fill me in?
I love you, Tim.
Love you too, Dan.
Was there any plan for the Zoom bombing, or is just like, oh, let's just join? How
Do
did
you
it
want me to
happen?
repeat what I said earlier, Def? Before I had got in here, somebody that was previously in here had took your Zoom link and posted it on the public source for people to obtain.
Yes, public source. I was wanting more details.
So there's a thing called Reddit.
I was on Reddit.
people-
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
there's this one main page on Reddit that has a fuck ton of fucking Zoom links of these. Like, I just went into a cult, some weird bitch doing a fucking satanic shit, and you know what? I made that bitch flip shit. It was pretty fucking cool. I started reading a Bible verse and she flipped.
Okay.
Them
Was that
bitches do not like God, dog. Like,
was that the
I was
link
like, what
to
the
this
fuck?
one, or was that just an example of other?
That was an example of the one I was
Okay.
in before, and
Okay.
then yeah. Now I'm in here, dog.
Was there a
I'm a
description
superhero.
of the for this link? Was it somebody share any personal grievance or
There
any
was
details?
no. I'm gonna be honest. I said nothing about it being a description. I just fucking went into it, like I went into this, not knowing what the fuck it was, and I walk into some motherfuckers not know how to get over some shit. But all right, dude, Holly, dude. Thank you for bombing the cult. Yeah, I did bomb a cult. They fucking flipped the shit.
Because I'd like to know, if there's any certain people. I've gone to war against certain groups, like Schizoid Angst group. I'm doing a little bit of a war, and then SCT System-Centered Theory, and then I've made enemies with Richard Brannon followers. So there's different people that could be trying to mess with me. So. But it's just a Reddit thread with a bunch of Zoom links and then people.
Yeah, it's just
Bomb
like
it.
constantly updated by some virgins. They just sit there and I guess like get some links and throw it at people's faces. It's like trending number 4 on Reddit right now as like a hashtag.
Trending number 4 on Reddit. Does anyone know how to navigate Reddit? You can't help me by giving me a link. I'm kind of dumb on this.
Yeah,
Zoom
throw a
bombing
link,
thing.
It's
throw a
pretty
link in the chat.
put a link in. I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that real quick. So you just want to give me a brief 30 minutes. Yeah.
Or you could say what the channel of Reddit that does this.
It's called Zoom bombing.
Zoom bombing. Okay, that's easy.
Or Zoom bombing.
Yeah, Zoom bombing.
Zoom bombing group. Is that it? It only has 22 members.
Uh
The one
oh.
on my end has
Our
like,
Zoom bombing is banned. It says.
No, it's
What?
banned. Is it banned?
Yeah,
Is
it
Zoom
just
bombing
popped
banned,
up
Kelly?
saying-
Kelly,
it
is Zoom
said
bombing
it's-
banned?
That's what it says for me.
Oh, it does it? Well, how am I here? Zoom bombing's banned. Look at
I
Tim.
don't know, man.
Tim's here.
We're sort of dumb on this, so that's why we're asking for help.
I'm dumb too, dog, man. I'm just the audio engineer, dog.
I don't mind the
Bored as
bombing.
fuck.
I just want to. I'm curious
Waiting
about
for
the
my client
process.
to show up.
Yeah.
Y'all want to record a song? I can pick up the audio from what's going on here, and I can mix it, and then like we'll make a platinum record on the fly. I low-key think Kelly can spit some shit. You listen to Kurt Cobain, Kelly?
Kurt Cobain.
Yeah.
Not in a while.
Not in a while.
He hasn't been cranking anything out in a while.
Oh yeah, I wonder why. I might have to call Brittany real quick.
Your channel. So
Fucking whore.
I
Like,
haven't kept up
y'all
with the
know
live
that
stream.
shit. You know, y'all know that shit wasn't a suicide, right? That
Who
bitch
committed?
planted that shit. Planted that shit. If you've ever seen somebody get shot, which I doubt not a lot of you have, maybe Kelly, because he seems like he's seen some shit. But I'm from St. Louis, and
St.
I've
Louis.
seen
Mhm.
few people get shot out here, and it's not the brightest thing I've seen in my life, but that motherfucker Kurt Cobain got fucking shot from a motherfucking upper angle, popped in his motherfucking head. You know what I'm saying?
I wasn't there
I wasn't there either. I just studied
Okay.
the autopsy. I was bored as fuck. You know?
on autopsy.
Took this college class for music and shit, and they're like, "Daddy, you gotta study somebody," and I was like,
So-
"Yeah, fuck it, yeah."
It seems like you have a lot of energy.
Damn, I kind of just took 3-4 lines of coke, but it's cool
Oh.
though.
So the drugs help you be high, and then
No,
or
I
give
don't
you more
really
energy.
like do drugs like that. I just like go upstairs into my mom's cabinet and grab some.
Coke?
Yeah.
It's just in the cabinet? Is she a dealer or something?
I'm not gonna say nothing for real, but if you have a need, you can hit a motherfucker for real. I got a MySpace if you ever want to text me on there for drugs. I mean, Lunchables. I got
Advertise it.
exclusive Lunchables.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's only like 6 people on the live stream, so I don't have that many enemies.
So like, what's going on here? Like, what time's this meeting in?
3 a.m.
3 fucking a.m. What time is it for you fuckers?
Says on the screen there.
Well, I'm not looking.
You can't read the time.
Well, buddy, it looks like everybody's zoomed in. So if you want to explain that, then you can explain that for me.
Explain 9:24 Eastern time.
Dev.
I didn't take any
Tim,
cocaine.
Tim, why am I in this alone, Tim? Like,
I have to catch
Tim,
up to
I know
your
where
speed.
you come from. I know where you come from, Tim.
Tim's from Philly, but
What you know
he
from,
muted
what you know about
himself.
Tim?
I let him unmute. He's
What you know about
Barely.
Tim?
I don't know anything about Tim.
Bitch. Anybody need that blooded?
So when you Zoom bomb other Zoom bombs, what are some interesting experiences? What's something different?
There
Or what's the norm?
was a
Either way.
racist white club of all white women.
A bunch of white women. Okay.
I kind of joined, and they were all talking about at first their experiences with black men, and I didn't even make myself aware or announce. I didn't even have a camera on, and as soon as I did,
Yeah.
I got backlash because I wasn't a woman, and then I state that it's 2024, and then I identify as a
See?
fucking woman.
That's some
Exactly.
badass boundaries to ignore the
was like-
social stuff and just stay. That's some
That's
good
what I'm
skills.
saying, and they start agging at me, and they're like,
Yeah. They'll start
'Cause
escalating.
like,
They're going to go
well,
to nuclear war.
Why are you talking like you're black? And I'm like, well, how do you talk like a color? Like, that's one thing. Like, how do you talk like a color? And I'm like, they're like, you know what the fuck I mean, you fucking cracker. I'm like, whoa, white lady, you're a cracker yourself. Like,
You got them to
what's
start
going on?
throwing insults back. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
and I'm like, and
Pretty
this
good.
bitch is like, she's like, well, you sound like a hard R, and then proceeded to throw me out the fucking call. So that's one. I also had this one, what I have a couple days ago. I be doing this shit a lot. I be bored as fuck. That motherfucker be popping. This page I have be popping with random links. And I be like, damn, y'all motherfuckers verged. But
You just
I'm
go to
bored.
different random links to see what pops up. What are some other interesting experiences, groups you've
I've seen
visited?
orgy. A live orgy. Everybody's just fucking fingering themselves on Zoom and shit. Fucking cocks out, jerking it. Old men, pedos, all that shit. It's fucking great. I love that shit.
I'm not buying that.
But adios,
No.
though.
You're saying there's a Zoom meeting?
Oh,
Damn it.
Ah, that was his exit speech.
He ran out of stories that quickly?
Wanted to shock me.
Yeah.
I didn't get offended, and then he's like, oh, fuck, I'm out.
I was looking for more, old school kind of prank call stories and things like that.
Holly. Sorry, you could have
Yeah.
asked earlier. I didn't know.
Oh, I was, but that's okay. Don't worry. I was probably safer not speaking
Yeah, he,
Oh,
because
been
you know how I get
interesting.
myself in
Yes.
trouble. So that was
Uh,
great. That was really great. I had to like block my
Strange.
eyes, but it was
Yeah.
nice to actually, because I used to want to do that. Like, what's up with you? What's going on? You know. So yeah, that was good. I appreciated that. So you think that they didn't really drop in on any orgy or?
oh, come on.
No.
Oh no.
Why the fuck would you have a Zoom orgy with all this stuff when you have porn and MySpace and all these, or no, I mean, OnlyFans and all these personalized things? Why would you have a...
Why would you do it on Zoom? Because you
Yes,
don't
why
want to
would
pay
you
for
do it on Zoom?
Because people don't want to pay for it. They need to have it without paying for it.
Well, if you did it on Zoom, why would
And
that
live,
link
and
be
live.
unpassword?
Why
How would
the
he
link
get
be
into that group?
unpassword?
Right. If he's just
Well,
randoming
what he
into things.
says is that somebody will be in the group. I suppose they'll access it somehow, and then they'll put it on Reddit. And he goes to Reddit to find links that people are posting to say, "Hey, come to this meeting."
I think that's a story too.
That's a gigantic fucking stretch. He
You don't
couldn't
think
hold
that
his
there's
lie.
a Reddit? You don't.
He
you don't
left
think
right
there's a
after that
Reddit?
story.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, you think he was lying? I can't tell. I'm gullible.
It's a super hyperbole.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it makes sense because how do these people who don't know each other pool and come in all at the same time? Or you'll see two there, and then all of a sudden another one will be there, and then they'll all reveal. And I don't know that
That was
they
a coordination.
I always assume they know each other, but I think maybe they don't. Go ahead. Or maybe they know each other because they're like bombing and they may run into each other in different spaces.
Mm-hmm.
So
They
how
might
did
know each other through bombing, but I wasn't able to get any info.
So you think?
Or
they
you
just
saw me?
joined
That's all the
meeting?
info I got. What?
Well, so did he? Oh, but he got it from YouTube. Okay, so he
He's
got it from
claiming
YouTube.
he got it from some Reddit group, and then we
But
tried to
you-
look up
but you're
Zoom
on
bombing.
But you're on YouTube, so he could have. You posted on the YouTube for people to join.
I posted
It's
on the
live on
YouTube,
YouTube?
yeah, for a long time on the community channel. I posted in the
Mhm.
description this time, but there's only 5 or 6 watchers, so it's not a lot of people.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, you handled that well. Can I be unmated? That's what I posted in the chat by accident. And Eric left pretty early, huh? And who else was in here?
Eric left
We
sometime.
had Eric.
That's
Oh,
it.
and I guess the other person was a bomber. They weren't a real
That
person.
Tim
They
or
were-
whatever. And there were
Yeah.
a few more to start, but they pretty quickly left. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or there are 5 or 6 of them.
Okay. Now I have to like come down off of this adrenaline.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
so
some
we
of the-
put waiting room on, so if somebody wants to join, I can manually let people in. So I'm doubting the bombers are going to come back.
Yeah,
No,
well,
probably.
Well, so you
Weren't
didn't
exciting
remove
enough.
them. You didn't remove them so they can come back. Yeah. It's funny how he was asking you to remove him. I was like, why is he doing that? Why don't you just leave if you want to go? It's like he couldn't
Well,
do it. It's like he
Yes,
couldn't
sir.
leave.
He doesn't have that experience.
Yeah. He's used to
Everybody
being
war to
needed.
war. So
Mhm.
I was like going, okay, I'll contain what I can. And then he talked earlier, so maybe you can give me some info. New experience.
Mm-hmm.
Learn from aggressors. He's an example of someone that can just say fuck you to people's faces. That's a good skill.
Mm-hmm.
You
Who
get a
knows?
little
Maybe he
uncom-
might publicize the group somehow. You know?
He did get a
Oh,
little
maybe this will blow
uncomfortable
you
though
up.
at times.
Maybe this will blow
himself.
you up if you do a Zoom bomber. Maybe that'll get you some views.
Oh. Well, a lot of them didn't have video, so that was my local screen, so it's not going to have the chaos.
Yeah, he was the only brave one to be
There's
on
chaos
full
and
view.
then some noise bombing, so I guess I could edit some of that with the group feed, but it's not as chaotic since I turned off the non-video people. But that's a nice example of, nuclear war or technology, using technology to take away agency. Or try to.
Yeah, they can't take away your agency as a host. You have the power.
Well, their goal isn't to fully take away the agency. The goal is to bomb. The goal is to shock.
Shock, yes. Shock.
Annoy. Trigger
get everybody ramped up and leave, yeah.
Trigger everybody else and leave, and since he didn't get kicked out, he didn't know what to do.
Yeah. Well, he ran out of material.
Ran out of material, and then Tim wanted to be unmuted. I unmuted him, and then
he did the usual.
Talk. What?
Be more interesting than that, yeah.
Okay. Sense making. Holly is a bit better. Kelly, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm fine. It was humorous.
Yeah.
Kids these days.
It was enjoyable to watch you so calm there, Kelly. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I got weird friends. I still do. Gonna go hang out with them tomorrow night. Get in trouble, maybe.
They do weird things like this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Well, Zoom bombing? No, they used to prank call and just act obnoxious as kids. Get attention.
Yeah, so this guy, he seemed to have a mom who was maybe a drug addict. And maybe
dealer or something. Yeah, he revealed
a dealer or an addict
something.
and secure enough to have a home that looked like a decent home he was in St. Louis, which I'm like, oh, okay. I wanted to know his experience. I wanted to know what his schooling was like. I wanted to know what the population was.
Holly has that God voice. She might have got in or she might have scared him. It's hard to say.
Yeah, I would have started questioning him for sure.
Would have been interesting
I
no
couldn't
matter
unmute.
what, though. That would have been, yeah.
Yeah,
That would've been
muted everybody.
interesting.
Good.
So
Yeah.
that was... I never had to do it, so I didn't know the buttons.
Yeah. I posted it in the chat so you could do it if you wanted to. It's on the security button. If you go into security
Security?
and you scroll down, you see in red letters. It's the shield on the bottom and the toolbar on the bottom. Of where your
Shield?
host.
Host tools. Oh, host tools. Oh, that one. I never even know that button. Suspend participant
There
activities.
should be yes, that will turn off everybody's video and that will mute everybody. And then you have to reactivate people's functionalities. The
So
functionality.
one at a time.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
Okay.
There's my picture.
The host button
Yeah, so now
has
you
like
know,
a goofy
Steve.
shield. Should be something a bit better.
Yeah, the shield is the security button.
Remove, suspend, lock meeting. Okay.
I love how you couldn't do it. And he's trying to tell you how to do it. I'm like, that's not how you do it.
I was trying to like kick, but
He gave you-
the button
he
is
gave you bad
removed.
instructions.
He did. So
Yes, they were wrong. Oh, I think he should get his own Zoom room and get bombed so he can learn what to do.
I'm pretty sure he hasn't been on the receiving end. Yeah.
Obviously not.
Probably not looking for that.
Is he a rebel without a cause? The movie's on right now. It's on Turner Classics. Was he a rebel without a cause? I think he was.
Bored.
Oh my goodness. Poor boy. Poor boy.
It was interesting that he sort of called out Eric early. So I'm not sure if that was just fishing
they
or
usually
was there,
go for the people of color first and start calling.
or was it
names.
looking for people of color?
He's a
or-
Midwest guy. I don't know. What was that about, Mr. Midwesterner Kelly? He really, that's usually that's what they go for when they start criticizing whoever's in the room with whatever.
Midwesterners specifically?
Well, I don't know. You know,
or,
it's a Southern.
or criticize.
No, his use of the N-word. But I guess I'm, being prejudiced.
Was that him, or is that that was one of the other hanger-ons, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, in the chat. It might have been one of the other people. Yeah, I don't know that he did. He said he was from St. Louis. I don't know what. Yeah, I got a little
Dan was from
confused there.
St. Louis. Philly. Tim was from Philly.
Yeah, I think Dan referred to it as the N-word, so I don't know that he wasn't going there, was he?
Oh, okay, probably not. I had to it got confusing there for a while. I had Deef's box on, pinned on my
sure,
screen.
yeah. No,
for
it
the
was a
study.
lot. It was a lot all at once, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Chaotic. What are they going to do? Ultimately, they're a box on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Weird.
So were you finished with the study, or where were we?
We were trying to talk about schizotypy. Oh, they
Oh,
did
yeah, you were
interrupt
gonna bring a
Sam
video.
Blackman. So.
Yeah,
he's-
that's right when they popped in. Yeah. Weird timing.
Okay, let's continue the meeting, I guess. Ooh, wait. Where is it? Switch here. So schizotypy was linked to imagination. So imagination and pain are linked, and imagination is all objects. So when a narcissist has objects and everyone else is seen as objects, the narcissist is in shared fantasy. All they know is their fantasy. They might be regressing to psychosis schizotypy mode, which schizoids have their dominant frame. So it's actually a theory that's helped in mental health. That schizoid is a spectrum from schizotypal to schizophrenia. And different expressions of schizotypy, which might be oceanic merging. So oceanic merging, let's get a refresher.
Oceanic union.
An invitation to dance.
Oceanic union. There is no clear sense of where I am and where you are. Oceanic union. There is no clear sense of where I am and where you are.
Utter annihilation. Utter annihilation. Utter annihilation.
So this very regressive state of pure creativity, free flow thought, schizotypy, or synoptic connection, or whatever this term is.
Synoptic connectivity.
Oh, synoptic connectivity.
Borrowing elements from a variety of fields, put them together and come up with a new insight. The ability to kind of fly above the terrain and put everything together in a way that has never been done before.
That's a lot of schizoids can write unique papers by mishing and mashing and creating something slightly different. Narcissists, they can defend themselves with any number of slippery defenses. That could be synaptic connectivity. They can see the characters, and when you react, they can change the story or something slightly different, keep you off balance with double binds and confusion.
This is a hallmark of creativity, and this synaptic connectivity appears to be schizotypal or even psychotic. This is known as schizotypy. Schizotypy. Indeed, creativity and psychoticism are linked, and although psychoticism is not psychosis, still it's kind of a second cousin of psychosis. So
he pronounced it schizopathy or schizopathy.
Schizotypism?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Schizotyp.
Can you put it at regular speed?
It is regular speed.
Okay, it is. Okay, it looks faster.
Schizotopy, this is how it's spelled. I think in the video he said he mispronounces it.
Yeah.
But this is how it's spelled.
Schizotypy.
It might be
whatever.
schizotypy.
Is he making
but-
up a word?
No, this is a mental health theory. It's not very popular, but it's saying there's a schizoid spectrum.
He's pronouncing it wrong. It's schizotypy. It's
Schizotypy?
Yeah.
It might be schizotypy. He's pronouncing it as schizotypy.
Yes.
psychosis, still psychotic. This is known as schizotypy. Schizotypy. Indeed, creativity and psychoticism are linked, and although psychoticism is not psychosis, still it's kind of a second cousin.
So psychoticism might be schizotopy, in that psychoticism and psychopaths, they're one-track minded and they're highly creative at getting their goal. So they're scary. So they might have schizotopy skills at being creative and see things above. They might have a lot of good meta skills. And then they have the creativity to outthink and outgame other people. So then they're scary to normal people. So then we call them psychotic and psychopaths.
Of psychosis. So let's discuss schizotypy.
Oh, and then psychoticism and psychosis might be a spectrum. So psychosis might be more schizophrenic, so you have a delusion that controls all your paranoia, so you're just scared as heck. Where someone who's more on the psychotic side of the psychotic psychosis spectrum, or someone who's more on the functional schizopathy side, can be instrumental with their creativity. Where one side is paralyzed by too much creativity, psychosis, potential dangers, there's the other side that can use this creative wisdom to manipulate others, to get stuff, to defend themselves, narcissistic defenses, love bombing, that might be schizotopy, schizotypy. I guess schizotypy sounds like that might be right. They're closer.
Schizotypy, I believe.
Schizotypy.
Schizotypy.
Schizotypy,
But I'll see if
it'll be
there's a
hard to
spell.
remember when he keeps mispronouncing it.
Yes.
And he only has 2 videos of schizotypy, so it's not a common theme on YouTube.
Schizotypy. Positive schizotypy. Unusual perceptual experiences. Thin mental boundaries between self and other. So it's a bit psychotic. The schizotypal person is not quite sure where he ends and the world begins.
So that's natural oceanic merging, or that means they're more comfortable with oceanic merging.
Oceanic union. There is no clear sense of where I am and where you are.
So if a schizotypal person naturally is oceanic merging, they don't know they crossed your boundaries. At the same time, they can explain it faster because they have the creativity of positive schizotopy. And they have the oceanic merging where boundaries are porous, they're flexible, they're thin, they're fluid.
The boundaries are very porous and diffuse. There's impulsive, non-conformity, magical thinking.
Impulsive non-conformity. So that's sort of that schizoid rejection. They have an impulse to do something non-conformist. They have an impulse to counter-will. They have an impulse to go anti-society. That's that schizoid rejection stance.
And beliefs. The negative conformity, magical thinking and beliefs.
Dominant frame, magical thinking, beliefs, free association, a bunch of random stuff, and they'll believe it. That's their paranoia, but also they'll have great delusions of grandeur and amazing fantasies.
The negative ones include cognitive disorganization.
So negative schizopathy, this might be more psychosis side. So negative disorganization, or disorganization? What was it?
Cognitive disorganization.
Cognitive disorganization, fragmenting. Their thoughts are all over the place. They're spinning. When we have psychosis people, they're not tracking their thoughts, and we can't track it. It's all over they're disorganized. It's spinning. It's like,
I couldn't take it anymore. Couldn't take it anymore. It's still circular, and there's no way in or out. It's still circular, and there's no way in or out.
It's all over the place.
We misdirect your attention. We misdirect your attention. We misdirect your attention.
That cognitive fragmentation, if that's a trait of schizotypy, we can insult it, we can moral outrage it, but they're in psychosis. They're in this overactive creative part of the brain, this hyper creative something.
Physical and social anhedonia, difficulty to experience pleasure from any kind of activity, social interactions, has to create.
So a flat effect, or they need like intense emotional interactions to get a high. So they might be thrill seekers, or they might have abnormal emotional effect.
A world where he or she can experience pleasure.
Oh.
Is to create a world where he or she can experience pleasure.
So if somebody who's on the schizotypy spectrum has anhedonia, they need to go into a game, or they need to have something that's exciting. They need to instigate trauma bonding so that they have feelings. They have a wider range than normal people.
Beatty and Fernham found that the positive dimension of schizotypy was significantly correlated to creativity, especially to self-perception and to the emergence of a creative personality. Schizotypy. The schizotypy phase, initially, there's a burst of observations and ideas and thoughts, cognitions, and even emotions. And they're totally disorganized. They're totally chaotic. And this is the schizotypy phase. And the schizotypy phase is followed by a more organized phase. The schizotypy phase is what inspiration is about. Intuition, even solving problems in dreams. These are all examples of schizotypy. A stream, a river, a gushing, raging river of ideas that you can't control. They flood you. You drown in them.
They flood you. You drown in them. Where's the flood? And
Oceanic Union. There is no clear sense of where I am and where you are.
Stream, a river,
Oceanic
a gushing,
Union.
raging
There is no
river
clear sense of
ideas
where
that
I
you
am
can't
and where
control.
you
They
are.
flood you. You
Oceanic
drown in
Union.
them. Very
There
often
is
they're
no clear
forgotten.
sense of where
minute
I
they've
am and
emerged.
where you are. Oceanic Union.
So flooding, a lot of random ideas.
Control. They flood you. You drown in them. Very often they're forgotten the minute they've emerged. And then somehow, out of this chaos, order and structure begin to emerge.
So if schizotypy or schizotypy is a phase of creative inspiration that's normally in your dream state, and then now you grow up and you slowly develop waking and dream state. But some people retain access to dream state, or some people are able to access dream states and waking states. And when it's really scary, we call that psychosis. And when it's really instrumental, we call that psychoticism. Psychotics. Psychotics to psychosis. They're both fantasy that floods the system with oceanic merging and flooding.
Oceanic Union. There is no clear sense of where I am and where you are. Oceanic Union. There is no clear sense of where I am and where you are.
So we're labeling a lot of things post-hoc, but that might just be a natural developmental phase that 1 to 2 year olds, when they're in that schizoid, paranoid schizoid mode state, when they're developing a superego to navigate conscious unconscious. Some people end up having more access to that, or that circuit doesn't get turned off. And then because that circuit doesn't get turned off, the rest of society that's sort of trying to stay in shared reality, they don't want to be contagion by oceanic merging. It's scary.
Oceanic Union. There is no clear sense of where I am and where
it's
you
madness.
are.
Madness is the abyss. Madness is the abyss. Madness is the
And
abyss.
it's flooding
Madness
and
is utter
annihilating.
annihilation. Utter annihilation. Utter annihilation. Utter annihilation.
And the utter annihilation is scarier now because we're living in with the reality of nuclear warfare.
And Zoom bombing.
Mm-hmm. And technology stuff. So now more chaos can happen at once, and abusers are using the technology, or they're pushing the limits of aggression. And they're comparing notes. So one Zoom bomber can compare notes from this, do better next time. And I comparing notes on how to defend against it. So everyone gets sharper with the speed of technology. Technology allows you to get more experiences in a smaller amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the extent of imagination is schizotypy or schizotypy. Schizotypy? How do we pronounce it? Let's see. Holly's link.
Oh, we have one in the waiting room.
Oh.
Or should have. Sorry.
Maria.
Doing double duty. Yes.
Oh, I don't have any notification for it.
Oh, you don't? Okay. She was
I guess I have to turn it on.
Yeah, she's in the Discord, so it just said let me know.
I didn't mute
Hello?
anybody. Welcome, Maria. We're trying to readjust.
Or maybe
the
it's
group.
still with the original
Yeah, you
mute. You
probably
gotta
still have-
do one at a time or something with the security thing. Or is there a way to turn them all back on? Or I don't
Host
know.
tools.
Yeah. You have
Allow
to
participants to unmute themselves.
Holly's,
Okay.
Holly's,
Yes.
yeah. Holly's the
Yes, you
expert
must
here.
re-enable our functions.
Okay.
Hi, Maria. You missed the Zoom bomber. But we'll talk about that later.
Right now we're trying to pronounce schizotypy. Schizotypy.
Yeah, so if you
Typey.
play if you play the YouTube video, and the other one has a couple of options as well that I posted in the chat.
Options. Oh, this has to be unmuted.
We'll study them later.
Unmute.
Schizotypy.
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 Oh, I can unmute.
There's no
Schizotypy.
Schizotypy. That was Holly's theory.
Schizotypy.
Yeah, the other one has an option which is a couple of options. So I don't know, maybe it's a website where it's like, you tell us what to pronounce it, and it's schizotypy or schizotypy, but you could play them all. There's 4 options there.
Schizotypy.
You can just click. It should play.
It's
You
trying
can't hear
to. It's not muted. Unmute. It might be blocked for something. But schizotypy is good enough.
Okay.
Schizotypy. But since, back then was mispronouncing it, that was the tough part. So if you take all this imagination and pain stuff and you say that's schizotypy, you have a vast imagination full of objects, and then you don't care about shared reality. Or you have anhedonia, where normal emotions don't motivate you, so you have to amplify things with some more imagination, more creativity. Physical pain is an intentional state without an intentional object. Imagining is an intentional object without an experiential intentional state. Fantasy is an intentional internal object, internal relationship that doesn't have to be linked to a real person, real situation, real whatever. So that's why you need an ego reality principle to sort through fantasy and reality, so you have access to imagination so that you can create stuff in shared reality. You can practice in imagination, so then you can build something amazing that you don't have to keep maintaining. Imagination allows you to create stuff, but the objects don't have permanence. If you create it in shared reality, then you have some permanence that your imagination isn't maintaining all the time. Pain and imagining are both framing events. We're all boundaries of perceptual, somatic, emotion. So that's where you make sense of stuff. Pain and imagination. And then you combine pain and imagination, and then you can do work. You can work to make your pain meaningful. You can work to combine your pain and imagination to create works of art, to work to collect income and exchange time for money, etc., etc. And then imagination is the ground of last resort. So when dissociation doesn't work, then you fall into a psychosis. You use the security of a psychosis to hold on to things you care about. Symbolically, of stuff you can't express in shared reality. So imagination is always there, almost on an emergency standby basis. It's a resource for generation of objects. And it's a motivator, so it can transform hunger into eating. So your imagination imagines how to get food or whatnot, and then now you can take action, work to try to get stuff done. And then here, like, imagining a companion if the world provides none, at least temporarily it'll prevent your longing from being wholly self-experiencing. So that's being isolated with just yourself, emptied of referential content. So you can imagine your superego, your inner critic, which gives you a voice. You have your imagined, you have your external abuser that gets internalized, and you have a superego, and that becomes your imagined companion, imagination. And that becomes your ground of being, the fact that imagining provides an extra and extraordinary ground of objects beyond naturally occurring interactions. And this is sort of good, but it's sort of iffy, but I liked how she pointed out how perception is self-modifying. Perception, your attention will change depending on what the trigger is. So, ordinary perception is self-modifying because it alters and nullifies its own content, continually exchanging one object for another, exercising control of the direction of touch, hearing, smell, and taste. So if you see something you don't like, your perception doesn't like, or something that doesn't match what you think, your imagination will alter it. That's the gorilla experiment, where there's people doing basketballs and your imagination doesn't see the gorilla because your mind's trying to count the basketball. So your imagination will fill in continuity instead of spotting differences. At the same time, your imagination will keep your repetition compulsion, and it'll see the good side of the narcissist because it wants to love bombing. So this example is like when the already given object fails to permit the ongoing achievement of self-objectification, throwing his attention back onto the body. So like if the sun is too bright, then the woman moves into shade. As she does, then her eyes can see a bunch of objects instead of getting the bright sun. But then if the shade is too dark and she can't see, then she moves back into the light. And then she can shift her vision to see nearby children to ease the discomfort that she lost a child. But if it makes her insecure because she sees children and she doesn't have one, she can now watch birds. So our attention will naturally regulate our emotions with imagination, or by filtering what we take in as objects. She says this, that she continually modifies the degree to which she displaces self-consciousness with unself-conscious objectified content. A person continually modify this internal state of self-consciousness and objectified inner content. So a narcissist who has snapshots of the relationship doesn't see the other person. They're seeing their internal object using the power of imagination, of schizopathy.
Close enough.
Of a regressive schizoid infinite imaginative state. Dominant frame. Because imagination is powerful. And then imagination is powerful to regulate, but imagination is also powerful to create a superego, a carbon copy of your abuser, of your parent. That scares you to death to protect you from the real parent. That abuses you so that you never let your guard down. Mm-hmm. If you had a pedophile history. Well, the objects are inward. The objects are consistent. So they're like it's here. A person can continually modify the state itself, adjusting his or her relation to the object. So dominant frame folding inward. Or just regressing to dream state. Schizotopy. Let's see.
Synoptic connectivity, borrowing elements from a variety of fields, put them together and come up with a new insight. The ability to kind of fly above the terrain and put everything together in a way that has never been done before. This is a hallmark of creativity, and this synoptic connectivity appears to be schizotypal or even psychotic. This is known as schizotypy. Schizotypy. Indeed, creativity and psychoticism are linked, and although psychoticism is not psychosis, still it's kind of a second cousin of psychosis.
So then if that's a spectrum of dream state, psychosis is sometimes labeled as dementia or delusion. So that's just a waking dream state that gets confused. It's a dream state that gets confused as a waking state. Or you're projecting your dream state content onto people. So it's just a dream that gets confused with reality. And if your reality is too dangerous, is too confusing, or your dream state is too exciting, then some people can default to hanging out more in dream state. Especially if dream state was a survival mechanism as a child. And then the dream state is the same territory as pain. So pain is objectless. Your body feels a pain and you have to use your brain to try to orient cause and effect, safety, danger, what the fuck to do, where the pain is coming from. And if you grew up as a child where you're being flooded with confusing pain and sensation, that triggers oceanic merging. You don't have language and imagination to try to make sense of the danger, so then you go inward. You could go dissociate, go up and you see. That is an aspect of schizopathy. Schizotypy. It's an aspect of schizotypy to have that overarching view. But the other part of that dissociation might be imagination folding inward, tons of creativity to sort of rewrite the story. And if you had family secrets that said if you rewrite the story, you keep the family secrets alive, you still get to eat. Everybody else doesn't get in trouble. And you can sort of dream away your problem. That works when you're at the home system, but then you reach the real world with adults. The adults have a different rule for shared reality. You're using this old rule in mismatches. So then people go to school, have a job, have to maintain themselves, and then they have a psychotic break because those old strategies of shared reality don't work as an adult, and all the negative content from the childhood abuse comes out when they're away from home.
Mm-hmm.
So then they're compelled to act out their dream because they're holding on to the unresolved grief, to the story that wasn't made sense, the story that got shut down by fantasy. So pain and imagination are linked, and I don't know if I had any other cool stuff. All work, so pain, imagination, then you link it to work, and you can do physical work, you can do work of art, you can do all kinds of combined work. to share your imagination and pain, which is inherently hard to put into words. You can externalize it through work. That lowers your pain, and it creates a controlled discomfort. Pain, the aversive intensity of pain becomes in work controlled discomfort. Then there's an example of making a town. Everybody's like holding in their imagination until the town is built, and then no one needs to hold in the imagination. So then you can be part of a shared project. So then you feel sort of good. You're holding one piece, the project manager, other people are trying to put all the pieces in reality, and then you go, oh, I was part of making this big thing. Then you're creating a structure of civilization. In work, pain is moderated into sustained discomfort, and the objects of imagining, through individually moderated fragmentary artifacts, this one piece by one piece, are collectively translated into the structures of civilization. So imagination created everything. All of the created things in the world started as ideas, started as imaginations. Then maybe they become artifacts and tools. Well, there's non-sentient surfaces, whatever. Sentient and non-sentient surfaces. Things that make sense and don't make sense. Work as tool artifact. Deconstruction is the first 2 chapters, and then now the last 3 chapters are about creation. Chapter 4 looks scary. Though maybe not, I don't know. Text from the Bible and Marxism. Some Freud. So chapter 4, structure of belief and its modulation into material making, body and voice in Judeo-Christian scriptures and the writings of Marx. Behold Rebecca, the human body and God's voice in pregnancy, reproduction, and multiplication. So we got Holly's nickname, and this has a section on God's voice. Kind of weird coincidence.
You already read the book before she read the book.
Talk about be fruitful and multiply. God's voice, Genesis. Then scenes of wounding, problem of doubt, internal structure of made objects, construction and deconstruction, making in the material realm, and chapter 5, interior structure of the artifact. The interior structure of beliefs, I'm not sure. Artifact is a thing. Maybe it's something. Artifacts making sentient of the external world. And artifacts as a lever. Reciprocation exceeds projection. So that'll be the next book group. Probably less Zoom bomby. Yeah.
Never know. Could be a regular feature.
I could just make the waiting room. Just have to monitor it more. Or turn on the beep. There's a noise.
Oh.
I think there's an option.
Yeah, it's like a doorbell noise, isn't it, or something?
Yes. That ding ding.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Is it in the normal settings, or do I have to go to the web page?
Holly, where's the doorbell for the waiting room?
Go into participants. and see if you have an option for more.
More. Play sound when someone joins or leaves.
That's it.
But then we'll hear noises when people leave.
All the time, yeah.
Yes.
How many times do people leave in a meeting?
Some people go on and off pretty
Not often.
Yeah.
Not often, but it is extra.
Maybe you need somebody to watch the door, I guess.
Yeah, it might not be something you want to do while you're, well, I don't know. Yeah, you could. The other thing you could do is you can ask somebody to co-host for you, but they have to be watching the screen to see the blue button come up to admit people.
Yeah, see, they still have to watch the screen. The problem is because I'm muting.
But you'll see it.
I'm porting my sound, and then so the notification bells are going to go through the sound of the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't port the sound, then the sound sometimes will be broken. Well, I might be able to change that into something more less annoying. Message center notifications. No, not there. It might be on the web page. Okay.
I don't think you can change the sound, but all right. Examples?
Well, we covered the schizotypy, but now since we're sort of overtime.
Yeah.
Oh, we could do an example of... I was going to set this up with schizophrenic superegos, but that would take too much time. But maybe this might make more sense. Let's see. Play.
And this is the power of the narcissist. It makes you mourn yourself. If you terminate the grief, you admit that you are no more.
Oh.
If you admit you're no more, you might be falling into
utter annihilation, utter annihilation, utter annihilation, utter annihilation.
Oceanic Union.
Madness is the abyss. Madness is the abyss.
So what if, like, codependence? See, there's a beeping noise. Welcome, John. Did he join from the Zoom bombing? We'll see. So far, he's polite. So,
our first visitor on the doorbell.
If you're codependent and you hid from the terror of your relationship through fantasy, then the grief you avoided, that's your narcissist prolonged grief. That might be what he's talking about.
You admit that you are no more.
Oh.
You're mourning a part of you that had never been true.
Oh.
Yeah, we're getting
You're
bombed
mourning
again, guys. Yeah.
part of you that
again?
had never been true.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fine.
And this is the power of the narcissist. It makes you mourn yourself. You have been made to love an image which is not you, an image which is not you. You have been made to be mothered by an unreal mother. You're mourning a part of you that has never been true. An image which is not you.
If I lose something and it's external and I can grieve for it healthily.
Oh, at least they took some time to do something. Okay. One by one. How do I turn on video again? Put in waiting room. And enable. How do I turn on the video?
So our mute's on. Let's see. You don't have an option for. I don't know. You must have done it before because you
Unlock
allowed
meeting. Enable waiting room. Hide profile videos. Okay,
There we go.
profiles
Now
are
we
that.
can
Start
enable our
video.
own, I think.
Oh, everybody has to manually enable video.
Yeah, I think once it's off, yeah.
So 2 people in waiting room. So I guess now the second wave tried to bomb. But John took a while. He didn't even notice he got in. He's talking to some people.
He was talking. He was
Rambling
looking
on,
like he
yeah.
was talking. And then he shocked us.
Then he did
You okay,
whatever
Maria?
shock bomb.
Okay.
So Maria got a taste of the
Yeah. Got it on the Zoom.
the Zoom bombing night.
Weird. I don't know. What the heck?
That was only
It's
2
these
people.
That's what the
days.
bombers do.
The bomber was like 7 people or something. So.
Yeah, the original.
They're lewd bombers. They like to do lewd acts in front of us.
They're coordinating. So let's see. I'll lower the sound. Oh. Is there any other way to sort of slow them down? Or
What do you mean, slow them down?
slow them down so we can sort of interact with them so they can join?
Like, can you put them in a sub or in a room or something where you could, like,
Oh, there is an
look at them
option
under
to
a
throw
microscope?
them in a room.
You could
Throw them in a
you
room so
could
that they
assign
can
them
go
to a
nuts.
breakout room. You could
Yeah,
assign
put them all in a breakout room. And,
But
and
you
record
can't keep
them.
them there. You can't keep them in the breakout room. They can leave the breakout room whenever they want.
Oh, they're not stuck in the
Oh.
breakout room.
No.
Bummer. 'Cause that'd be like,
Well,
there'd
no.
be ways to torture.
Is there a way to
That's
know?
revenge, Kelly.
Yeah, it is. So what?
Zoom won't let you do it.
Won't let you do revenge?
Not in a. You can't banish someone to their room.
Well,
You can't banish them to their room.
I think you can banish them, but you can only banish them for how long the breakout room stays open.
You can't make them stay in the breakout room. They can come back.
You can individually mute people.
Yeah,
you can
but
mute
then
and you could stop their video. You could also stop their video, and that way they can't use their video. You have to request that they enable their video. So that's another thing you can do. You could stop them from having their video on and mute them, and then you can keep talking to them
Can you
and ask them to
manually?
communicate.
I don't know if you can manually enable videos.
You can. All right. Why don't you go in?
I can disable all
go in
videos. Yeah, but I don't know if I can
Yes.
manually.
Yes, you can manually.
just
You
turn
go
one
into
that-
If you go into participants, well, you can stop a video. So go ahead and stop Kelly's video. Let's
Yeah,
run a
we're-
test.
Let's see.
Practice
Stop,
on me. Go to
stop
town.
Kelly's video.
Okay, I stopped
No.
it.
All right.
Can you
Now, he
re-enable
can't
it?
turn it. He
Let me
can't
try and turn it
again.
on. No, it says you cannot start video because host has stopped it.
Yep. So in
Oh.
order to allow him to start it again, you go into participants, and you would ask him.
Participants.
Mhm.
Ask to start video. Okay.
Oh, okay. Boop. There I am.
So that's the way of slowing them down. If you want to stop
Moxie.
the video, and you
So can you just bring in
Wants
one
to
of them?
join.
And then we can
and you can do the same. You know how to
talk to
mute
just
people.
one of them.
I think
You
it's
can
only
mute
the
them on the
bombers that are
box.
watching the live stream because there's not. There's
Yeah.
only like 6 people.
Are they still in the waiting room? Are they still in the waiting room?
They're dropping off, or maybe or
Oh, there comes
Moxie is
Moxie.
coming to assist, maybe,
I
or
can get
or
rid
to
of
trick
bombers.
us. I don't know.
Yes.
Let's see if he
Some
or
chance.
she is genuine or not.
Hello?
Hello.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Moxie.
Hello.
I can get rid of?
Teach us skills. Holly runs a Zoom meeting too.
Yeah,
you
so
don't-
there's many ways you can get rid of bombers. So
No,
what
I
you
want
can
to
do-
just manage them. I don't want to get rid of them.
Oh, you don't want to get rid of them?
No, we want to talk to you.
So you want to talk to them, or
Yeah. But I can't deal with
We
the
want them
flooding.
to
I have
join
to
our
limit the
meeting.
flooding because there's just there's no
Okay.
space to talk to them.
It's a little overwhelming.
Yeah, I understand. This happens a lot. I don't. The only I know that you can send them back to the waiting room.
Yeah, they're in the waiting
that
room.
means you can't talk to them.
I can send messages to them, so I did send them a message.
You could do that.
What did you
But
say?
If you really want to talk to them,
yeah,
you can. When they're in the Zoom, you can like ask them to unmute or like ask them to show their camera. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I could demonstrate it, but I don't have the powers or whatever, so it don't work for me.
Well, the asking I know. It's just that if 5 of them come on and just start flooding, then the buttons are too slow.
Moxie,
you can do
I ask
one
you
at a
question?
time.
Moxie? Can I ask you a question?
Yes, what is it, Ollie?
Why can't you enable your video?
Me, I don't have a thing, a camera thingy on my computer
on your
setup that I
device?
have.
Oh,
So
okay.
it won't work. It'll just come up a black screen.
Okay.
Like I can turn it on, but it'll only be a black screen.
Okie doke.
So you want to see it? Hold on. Let's see. How does this work? Why is it not working? I'm sorry. Give me a minute. Oh, here we go. See, it's just black.
Oh, Minicam. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
enabled. So Bob Blummy wants to join. Maybe.
Who?
Bob Ronald.
If you give me like the co-host, I can manage them for you. So while you're doing your thing.
No, he doesn't need a co-host.
No, I'm just saying that's how I can like get rid of them and like mute them and stuff. So
Hey guys.
I want to talk to them. I don't want to get rid of them. I can just
yeah, I won't
close
get
the-
rid of them. I can just turn off their video and stuff and mute them, and then you can talk to them, and I can make them unmute controllably, so they can't just like
Not
yell in your
necessary.
ear.
I think you can just
yeah,
ask
I'm with
them.
Moxie here. Moxie actually moderated my Zoom classes before.
Yeah, I did.
He's
I've
done a pretty good
worked with
job.
Bomb before.
Yeah.
I'm being so serious. I really want to help you because I like learning.
Why should I
like
trust
watching
you?
We're here to help you.
Because I have a friend in here who I've helped.
It looks like Marriott is like kind of like on some, but you know. Well,
I'm willing to talk, but I can just shut off the. I can just turn on waiting room or just close the Zoom account. That's an easy way to
Hey,
manage.
There's somebody.
But you said you wanted to talk to
hi,
him, so I
Ronald.
can help you do that.
Yes, I'm letting Bob to join, and then if other people specifically type stuff, I'll entertain it.
why was I asked about Zoom bombing or like if I was a bomber? Like, what is that?
That's what happened earlier. How did you get the link?
From your YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
from YouTube.
Some other people
Yeah.
claim they got it from some Reddit something. So,
Oh no. What is Reddit?
Oh yeah.
oh, come on.
I don't know what Reddit is.
I don't know.
I don't know what
You
it
guys
is
are going to
either.
play
that
dumb
much,
that you
yeah.
don't know what Reddit is?
I don't.
Gee,
I really don't, sir.
it's not a popular website.
And you guys sound pretty young, so you're saying.
I don't have that deep
I
of a voice.
I
They're
identify
4chaners or
as 20,
something.
But you know
No, what's 4chat?
what? Wait, are we on 4chan? Are we going on 4chan here or what?
These guys are from. Are you guys from 4chan?
No, I'm from YouTube. I was
No, I'm
on
from
this
YouTube. I got this link from YouTube.
So I mean,
Put my shit up real quick.
do you want me to help you with the bombers, or because that's what I'm pretty good at. I won't.
Yeah,
pick 'em.
Moxie's actually known to run the community for like.
I help
Zoom
lots of
bombers.
Zoom calls. I moderate
not-
them, and
I'm not gonna let some new person co-moderate.
I can get more people that I've moderated for. I can get them in here.
Yeah, I can get some people too. I'm one of
We're
them.
trying to
I have
manage you
one.
two first. If I
I'm
have
one
like
of them.
5 people flooding stuff, I don't. That might be chaotic. So. There's only 2 other
Yeah.
people in the waiting room. So I don't.
Here, if you let Francis Jones in, I've moderated his Zoom calls before.
Oh, Francis Jones. Me and Francis Jones go way back. Just let you guys
If you
know.
let him in,
So how do you know all these people? How do you know each other?
I moderate their Zoom calls.
Yeah.
It seems like you're
I
better
have
at,
like I
at
have
jumping into
like
random
bigger
Zoom
podcasts
calls.
like way bigger than yours, Mr.
No,
Deep.
so
I, have, like,
I
fucking-
volunteered.
Of course you have
so
a
what I
big
do-
podcast. This is a tiny webpage.
So what I do is I
That's
go
why I
into
haven't dealt with
people's-
Zoom bombing,
Talking.
because no
And
one
we got, like,
knows me.
He's like a
Really-
moderator for my Zoom.
So,
Kelly,
what I-
read your script.
What I do is I go into people's Zoom calls who don't have good moderation, and I volunteer to help because
Why?
that's just what I do. I like helping people, and I've helped multiple people, and I moderate all their Zoom calls. I've never had a bad complaint before, so I'm pretty good with technology. And
Where you
I give
listed?
him I give
Never
him- I
had a
give Moxie
bad
a
complaint
time on
ever.
Yelp.
He
Not
is
gonna lie,
just
'cause I found him
so
on Yelp.
sincere.
ZoomCallModerator.com.
no, so
Maria?
I just saw when
Kelly.
you just got bombed about 5 minutes ago. I was in your
Ah.
chat, and I saw it, and you said we're talking about how you wanted to talk to him, but
Yeah.
didn't want to kick him. And the breakout rooms, I can help you do that because I know how to do all that. This is what I do. It's my specialty.
Yes, but I'm able to manage it, so why should I
But-
trust you? And why are you
Well,
asking
I,
this
I
so
have
much?
people that I've managed for. That's
Why are you
that's why
asking
I'm
this instead of
trustable.
telling me the landscape? I want to know what the
We're
motivation
we're
is.
trying to like
But
we're
I
trying to
told you I like
make sure that
helping
your
people.
experience
It's what
is
I
good.
do. It's
You
what
know,
I do in my
Moxie
free
helped
time.
me, and I'm just a representative, helping out Moxie, and we want to help out you and make sure that there's no Zoom bombers coming in and ruining your experience. You know what I'm saying?
If you
we
let
don't-
in
we don't need
Francis,
that.
and he can tell you too, I've moderated a bunch of his Zoom calls. He does AA meetings. I'm not sure if you know what those are. They have about like 100 people in each, and he.
Yeah, I go there every Wednesday because I'm a fucking druggie. And
Yes,
so it's
some of
for-
you
it's
guys
for
might be
people with
druggies.
addiction.
That seems like that makes sense.
No, so
Whoa!
it's
Is that supposed to mean something, or
Well, you just
It's a
said
bait.
Steve.
is that
If
supposed to
I
go
could
against
volunteer,
white people?
I could
white people are druggies. Are you racist or what?
I
No,
can
an
show
Asian.
you what I can do.
You're going to try to
with,
use a racist card on an Asian.
Whoa! Why is race getting brought up into this?
All right,
sir?
Bob, stop.
You
getting
brought
out of
it up,
hand, man.
Bob.
Come on, listen. I
This
just
is on
wanna help you,
video.
man.
This is on
I'm
live
sorry.
stream.
Yeah, this is
Just
on live stream,
The
Bob.
American
Your
justice
video is
system
on.
is just so terrible. I'm so sorry.
You can be
Bob.
hysterical
Watch this
here,
lady.
Bob, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bob.
I don't care.
It's encouraged.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Let it out,
All right,
Bob.
so
I'm getting
listen,
messed up.
Deef,
I'm
I
sorry,
really
I'm
want to
messed
help
up.
you, man.
Yo,
I've
Kelly-
heard
Kelly
your
just-
help plea,
yo, Kelly,
Moxie.
you look
You
like
can
George
repeat it
Bush.
on and on.
I know, but you just don't believe me. That's why I keep going on and on.
No, I don't trust you. It's not about believing you.
But I have multiple sources. I can be trusted.
You're just making claims. That's not anything.
If you bring Francis in, he will tell you I've moderated his Zoom calls as well.
We're not just blindly
You can talk to him
accepting
as well.
the self-report of the
You know what a
examinee. We're not
resume
just
is?
blindly
Like, there- you could've
accepting the
mentioned-
self-report of the
yes.
examinee. We're not
Could
just
have
blindly
given us
accepting.
that link. Like,
Yeah.
But my resume,
Post
this
your
is what I do
socials.
on the side. This isn't something I do mainly. I
What
am
do you
a
do
major
mainly?
in what?
What do you do mainly?
So what I do, I work in cyber security. That's what my major's in.
So that's how I met Moxie because I hired him.
I do.
They
Are you-
both
are you a
work in
hacker?
cyber security.
No,
you-
I'm not.
No,
A,
whoa,
so
that's
what I
you a
do?
hacker?
No, I'm not a hacker. So what I do is
What
I
do you do in
protect. So,
cybersecurity?
so businesses protect me. They're not
Not
protect me. They pay me
hackers,
to
that's
protect
very-
their business so they don't get hacked.
Right. So you know how to hack. That's how you.
I don't know how to
them.
hack. I know how to protect businesses
Yeah, let's
and
not
make things
jump to
unhackable
conclusions.
so they're secure.
Kinda like
jump to conclusions. Why?
So I don't. It's not hacking. It's like using a shield, basically. Like I'm giving them a shield so they don't get hacked. That's
So this
what I
is
do.
where
It's-
Rock could be beneficial. He might keep up with these people. Is he on
What happened?
Discord?
Okay, well,
Oh,
can
yeah,
you
get
please
him in
tell me
here.
what you mean by these people, the people that are Zoom bombing, correct?
The people I'm assuming are Zoom bombing. Yeah.
The people that keep trying to get in? Well, I know Francis isn't. Francis
The
is
people that are
like-
unknown new people that have no history, I'm gonna label
Well,
as
I mean,
understand,
we're
Zoom
not
sir.
bombers.
Zoom bombing
I really
right
just
now.
wanna help
I mean,
you.
we're not Zoom bombing right now. I mean, you can tell we're not. You
If
know what
I
I'm
was
saying?
gonna Zoom bomb, I'd do it now, but I have no reason to. I just want to help
Exactly.
you because I love
You guys
watching
are
you.
good American citizens, and we want to give to the community.
I see these people in your comments, but they
Yeah,
They-
they're saying. I think one of them said they want to oil me
they
up.
says weak sauce and I'm transparent, but I don't know what that means because
I'm getting a
really
message.
trying to help.
Hey,
That's what
yo,
they're
Kelly, can you
commenting
not
on you.
message me that stuff? I'm getting a message from Kelly that he wants to oil me up. I don't know.
I doubt it. I doubt that.
That's what I'm reading on my screen. I don't know what to tell you guys.
Did you do that, Kelly? I doubt it.
All right,
Oh, the chat
Steve,
is
could you
disabled.
add Francis? He keeps texting
Kelly,
me
I
and
don't
it's getting
think
pretty
you're reading
annoying.
those messages, man.
He's not.
You didn't
Francis?
reply to me.
He's not super. in
Francis
this
isn't
world.
gonna be some crazy person.
Kelly just stopped messaging me.
Moxie,
Just-
you're giving
Kelly,
Francis
do
a
What happened?
reference.
No, Francis is gonna give me a reference so you can trust
Francis
me.
is gonna behave, or he's gonna
Yes, he'll behave. I have him on
Okay.
the phone right now. He keeps calling me.
There, you
All right,
asked.
thank you.
I delivered. Okay.
All right, thank you. Like I said, I've moderated some of his Zoom calls. He can tell you. I've done about 10 for him. I've done about like 7 for Bob Ronald. So like this is my proof. I'm just trying to help.
This seems like you're really attached to this outcome.
Nope, I'm telling you, this
You've
is what I
asked
do.
like 50 times, right?
Because I want to help, and you just don't believe me. So I
don't
know what
trust
to do.
you. It's not that I don't believe you. I'm sure you
Oh,
want to help in
dependents,
your
you wanna
way.
help. Are
Reasons
you
to trust me.
codependent, Moxie? Are you
Can you
codependent?
just mute your screen? Mute your screen.
What happened?
Mute your screen. What? I don't know.
Mute
what's
my
happening.
I
screen?
don't know what that means.
Who-
No,
who
not
mute what
Moxie. Not
screen?
Moxie. The Holly. Yeah, just
Oh, you want to mute me?
mute.
You don't like what I'm
Yeah.
You want to
saying?
mute Holly? Why?
I don't understand what's going on. I'm confused.
Bob is having trouble.
That happens sometimes.
Yeah, like
Here,
it's just
if
Holly
I
was
could,
distracting me from Moxie's talk, and I'm trying to like listen to what Moxie was about. Then I just hear Holly going, like
Moxie is saying the same thing. Francis seems like he's trying to
No,
flood
Francis.
soon.
Francis, unmute and tell him what
Well,
I
we
do
all
for
like
you.
Francis.
Well, he has to prove himself.
Yeah, Deef, so basically my friend, like, I don't know how to word
Francis
it,
was young.
but,
But word it.
excuse me? Well, so he works in cybersecurity and he helps
I've heard
people
that.
on Zoom calls.
Yeah. Mhm, I
Yes.
heard that.
I'm just here to, like, prove that we're not here to bomb. Because if we were here to bomb, we would do it already.
No, there's different ways of bombing.
No, not that I've seen. All I
Can you
see is
please explain
penis.
those ways?
Oh, come on.
No, people that
There's
bomb,
different
like-
ways of fucking up meetings. It's not just one
Whoa!
way.
Whoa!
Chill out a
Wait.
little bit. Here,
Whoa,
all right,
what?
Deef.
You
Deef,
two are gonna
here.
get age restricted, buddy.
Listen.
You're gonna get
Deef.
age restricted.
Deef,
By
I
what?
can.
What do I
can
care if I'm
screen
age
share.
restricted?
Listen. I don't have. You don't have to give me co-host.
Your
You
rent's
can
due,
just
bitch. I mean,
listen.
sorry, my
You
bad.
can get me to screen share, and I can show you how I do all this stuff. I can show you videos
Aha!
like me.
This is a
I can show
counter
you videos-
offer. You still want
No.
something. You want screen sharing.
No, I'm telling you, this is. I'm
control
trying to prove
of the
myself, sir.
screen.
That's more evidence of potential trolling.
No, sir. I'm telling you. I can help you.
Bob, are you
Bob
okay?
is trolling. He changed the
Alright,
video
Bob,
and
what
then
is
he
that?
turned on
Come
the
on,
light,
man.
and we
I'm
should
trying to help
care.
this guy.
No, wait.
I think you should pretend you should fake your suicide, not just fall down. Go hang
No.
yourself.
Hey.
Sorry about that. Whoa.
What do you hey?
Sorry about that. No, my bad. The fentanyl.
Give me
the
some
fent got
gore.
into me.
Bob, do you want to shock me?
Hey, I'm not
Go
gonna
cut
lie,
yourself.
You can't be talking with that big ass forehead.
Go cut your wrists in front of the camera, Bob. Come on, do it.
Yo, this guy is.
Hello, I am Andrew Tate, and you are a fucking
You see?
nigger. Instead of picking cotton, how about you pick up some women, you fat ass nigger?
See,
Some niggers
Moby,
can't be taught
I
to fuck
said
yet, they're black.
you're gonna
Nobody cares about your opinion, bro. Cut your wrist, little boy. Stop talking shit, bitch ass motherfucker, Asian ass motherfucker.
Bob,
Was
are you
that
gonna do what
Francis?
Moby did?
Back to the business process. Come on.
Moby proved
Big ass
himself
forehead, bro.
a
Empire State
bomber.
Building on that shit, bro.
Bob,
Delta
are you gonna
Airlines
bob
coming
me?
in.
Come on.
But he had such good ratings.
Bitch ass up, bro.
He's
I can
helped
put
so
a
many
quarter in that
people.
gap, bro. What you mean, Kelly?
No.
Shut your fat ass up, bro. Go eat some more McDonald's. What you mean, bro?
Go eat some more McDonald's.
I'll break up your glasses, bro. What you mean?
What am I
Go
getting?
eat some more sushi, you Chinese.
It's good there.
Bob was flooding,
Yo, I never.
so
Yo.
sorry.
I
Now you can go
Bob,
flood his video if he wants.
Bob, I've never seen a Chinese man with a bigger forehead than him.
Yeah, I have such a giant forehead.
That's what happens
I'm
when
in
a man's
agony
hairline
of a
recedes,
giant
and that might
forehead.
be you one day,
I have
darling.
this
Terrible.
humongous forehead that just
And I've
hurts my soul.
Yeah, you know what hurts my soul?
What?
Francis, you can do better. Come on.
What?
One day
what?
you're
What do
gonna
you wanna
be
do?
a man.
Hurt
and
my
have a
soul.
receding
Insult
hairline.
me. Shock me.
You
It might have started already.
trying to cut his wrist. You told my friend to cut his wrist. Why don't you
I
tell
did.
yourself you dirty
It's on
Chinese
camera.
man? You're yellow. You're
Look, he's
yellow.
going to try to
You're
show
yellow.
his
You're
ass
yellow.
like he's proud of it or something, but he wasn't able to. You need to turn on the light if you want to go moon us.
Yo, you're yellow. Holly, show your ugly face. Where's Kelly right now? Kelly should.
Kelly's on camera. Can't you open your eyes?
You can't open your eyes. You're Chinese.
That is so low, Francis. I am so hurt to my core. A silly Chinese joke. That is amazing. Yeah.
You're gonna have to edit that out, Deef, because that might be pedophilia. That
What Chinese? What?
no, the mooning that happened.
Oh. Well, I turned off the
You might-
camera. Wait. Holly,
Yeah,
you
but
talk.
it would have been recorded. It would have been recorded, so that's on you now to edit it out. Probably for YouTube. Just saying.
School isn't out already, is it? I suppose someplace it could
He
be.
left.
Moral outrage.
No, Francis is still here.
Yeah. What's up, Francis?
Wow. I think that this is really. He got them where it hurt.
Oh, they're children. You know.
Yeah.